what the regulations are actually coming in terms of Sebi. They've done a new report which has revealed a lot of interesting facts, especially on F&O trading. Now, the capital market regulator is going to be considering some additional safeguard for investors after its recent study on this derivative trading that actually reveals several positive as well as negative trends and a possible mitigation of some areas in terms of the prevent losses as well. Now, let's not forget, India is actually the world's largest market in terms of trading equity FNOs as well. FNOs. Now, most of the experts say this is nothing less in form of a gambling that is coming in. Yet, what we're seeing according to the Sebi study is that FNO trading has seen almost a 6 times growth in 3 years. Number of individual traders in equity FNO segment are at 45 lakhs in FY22 versus just 7 lakhs in FY19. Now, about 98% of these retail derivative traders are dabbling in ultra high risk options and 11% in futures in FY22 compared to the number of 89% versus 43% respectively in FY19. Now, the data also showed that 9 out of 10 individual traders in equity and FNO option segment have actually suffered a considerable loss for the financial year 2021-2022. That makes it to around 90% of the traders are actually making a loss. That's quite a big number coming in there, right? Now, let's look at some of the new, isn't it becoming a new upcoming fad, you could say, coming in as well. You know, FNO traders are trading because it's a fad. There's a lot of mushrooming discounts that are coming in from broking firms that is to lure the traders. It's fast mobile apps, zero broking apps as well. So, that is something to lure customers. Now, in FY22, what we saw is nearly 35% of FNO players were in the age group of 20 to 30, rising from just 11% in FY19. Young traders, that is, I'm considering under the age of 20, accounted for 1% of the shares posted, with the highest average profits were made by those as well. And also that same age group actually made the highest number of losses as well. So the loss makers and the profit makers were under that age of 20 bracket. Highest participation in terms of age you see coming in is from the age group of 30 to 40 years in FY22, while senior citizens in FY22 actually made a higher loss compared to other age groups in the factor coming in. Now, gender-wise also, when you compare, equity FNO segment is actually dominated by male, who accounted to around more than 80% coming in there. And the average losses that were made by females, loss makers over there, was 1.3 lakh in FY22 versus when you compare 1.9 lakh in FY19. While male loss makers made an average loss of around 1.1 lakh versus in FY22 versus just 1.7 lakh in FY19. Okay, let's look at which cities are actually doing well in the country. Especially shares of individual traders from tier 1 went down to 15% in FY22 from 25%. And also, look at the small town participation. That seems to have increased a lot. 79% in FY22. FY19, it was just 69%. So small town, a lot of people from small town also are investing in the trading actually in FNO derivatives as well. And Kolkata, which is known as the city of joy, actually turned into a city of losses because the average loss makers in Kolkata was the highest for all segments except for the index options. So an interesting trend that we're seeing coming in terms of cities as well. Cost wise, 23 to 25% of the net trading losses for a loss maker was the transaction cost coming in. So that's a very big amount in terms of the cost as well. Surely this data has been one of an eye-opener. Let's not forget the increases because there was COVID as well. There were a lot of participants that came into the markets, FNO trading as well during the COVID period as well. But the data surely shows the risk that one has to take as well, and how this is actually an eye-opener coming in for everyone there.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.